Boom. All right.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
We're live. How's everyone doing out
We
there
are live.
tonight?
We are live. Awesome. Fantastic. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. For those of you, everyone out there in Facebook world, as well as our TikTok family, I'm John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza.
Hello, hello.
And we are the law firm Gardner and Mendoza. We come to you every Wednesday from 8 o'clock
Almost every Wednesday.
9 o'clock. And we like to bring you immigration law updates or inspirational immigration stories. And most importantly, we like to answer your questions. So we always say, bring your question. You've got questions, we've got answers. So we do this every Wednesday. And the reason we said it's good to be back is we did not do it last Wednesday because we were
at the immigration conference, the American Immigration Lawyers Association conference in New York City. It was awesome to be back in person for that conference. There were thousands of immigration attorneys there. It was great to hear the panels and just see what's going on in the world of immigration just in one weekend. That was just Wednesday through Saturday. And we were happy to bring some of our team members. Dominique Sampson was there. He's one of our immigration attorneys. Sarah Lawler was there. She is our managing immigration attorney at Gardner Mendoza. And Jackie was there. She was there volunteering.
Yeah,
and
so awesome.
Yeah, Jackie is our intake manager. She served in a lot of positions, but we have landed on intake manager right now. So if you contact us, Jackie will most likely be the person that you're talking to. And she is assisted by Nick and Rhea. And anyway, we were really excited to be there and get immigration updates. And we'll share a couple of nuggets that we learned during the immigration conference tonight.
Yeah, it was nice to be back in New York. For those of you who don't know, Radlin and I went to Seton Hall Law School, which is in Newark, New Jersey. That's where we met. And we went back out to Newark one night. We even took the New Jersey Transit back out there because that's how we used to always travel when we lived there. And went to our old favorite restaurant in the Ironbound section of Newark, which is a Brazilian and Portuguese neighborhood. And it was really a lot of fun. We walked down memory lane and even went over to the law school and checked it out. It was late, so we just did a drive-by, a jump out, and
jumped out of the Uber, took a picture, and left. We came, we saw, we left like MacArthur.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was a lot of fun, and we did pick up some good information as always, and we're excited to share it. So again, I see some questions already filling up here. One thing I did want to remind everyone is that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. I want to make sure that everybody gets that disclaimer. We're happy to answer the questions, but we cannot give legal advice unless you are one of our clients. And that would only happen if you have a consultation with us, and then after that consultation, actually become a client of ours. So even a consultation is not legal advice, just so everybody's clear on that. Okay.
All right. So we've got some questions on the board already, but before we start the questions, you have an inspirational immigration story.
I do. I know everyone's got stories, and I just wanted to share a quick one. It's been a while since we did an inspirational immigration story.
Thanks for the love. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to say hi to everybody on TikTok. That's right. We're always looking at our Facebook camera because that's the camera. But you know what? We got a lot of people coming in here on TikTok, and we're going to get your questions as well. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're on TikTok and you have a question, it is easier for us to field it on the Facebook page. So if you have the ability to hop over to Gardner Mendoza Law, then you should do that because it'll be easier for us to see. If you can't, that's fine. We'll try to get them on the TikTok.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. And definitely shout out to our TikTok fans. We are on the road to 20K. Thank you so much, and thank you.
Radlin does these fantastic.
Thank you for
TikToks.
all of the love, the support, the comments. When I first started, I was answering every single one of those comments. A little bit harder now, with almost 20,000 followers.
If you haven't seen
much love to you guys.
If you haven't seen Radlin on TikTok, check her out. They're entertaining and extremely informative. There's a lot of questions that can be answered if you just go through her TikToks. I mean, you can try to figure out what it is you're trying to find out, and she probably has done a TikTok addressing that issue. So
thank you.
You should check it out. They're really a lot of fun. Okay, so quick immigration inspirational story. Maybe didn't capture a huge amount of national news, but I did notice it. It involves a woman named Myra Flores, who was born in, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Tamaulipas. You think that's right?
Possibly.
It's a very small...
Tamaulipas. I can't read your handwriting. But
anyway, it's a small place in Mexico, and yesterday she was sworn in and became the first Mexican-born woman in the United States Congress. She won a special election, and she was sworn in yesterday. And she is a respiratory therapist from McAllen, Texas, and her family immigrated to the United States when she was 6 years old. So
incredible.
She was born in Mexico. Her parents immigrated when she's 6, and she will now be serving in the United States Congress, representing a part of the Rio Grande Valley, and off to DC she goes. So, wow, if that's not an inspirational story, I don't know what is. I mean, from her town in Mexico to the United States Congress, like that. Yeah. There's a lot of hard work in between.
Absolutely. And the trajectory is amazing. And sometimes we talk about, file, get your family over here now. And procrastination is real, guys. I mean, it's real. But this is something that can happen for your family, for future generations, maybe even to you if you immigrate to the United States, naturalize and become a U.S. citizen. That's just a great story, and I'm so glad that you shared it, because it's all about just getting it done, getting your family here if that's what you want to do, and you're here because that is what you want to do, most likely. So thank you for sharing that. It is very inspirational. I love hearing stories like that.
I know. Pretty cool, right? Oh, and look, we've got somebody on TikTok checking in saying, hello, good afternoon from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Hawaii. Yeah, nice. We're having some Hawaii showers here.
Love Hawaii. For those of you who don't know, and Radlin is going to start answering questions, we promise we'll stop chatting. But I just want to also let you know that, just for informational purposes, our law firm office is in Virginia. We are in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the East Coast of the United States, but we do have clients all over the country, all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you are. We can come to you through Zoom and DocuSign and all the other great things that technology has to offer. We've been doing it long before COVID. We were already using all of that stuff. So we're, if I may say so myself, we're really, really good at it. Okay.
All right. Fantastic.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Or should I just keep gabbing?
Both. We'll do a little bit of both. That's awesome. Right. So I'm going to grab Jasmine's question. She says, hello, I have passed my citizenship interview, but I'm still waiting on my oath ceremony. My question is, I have an emergency. My grandfather passed away. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Yeah, and I am in between requesting expedite for my I-130 pending case at USCIS. While I am a green holder, I don't want my case to go to NVC under the F2A category. What do you recommend? Should I request an expedite or just upgrade my case when I become a U.S. citizen? I really need your help. Okay, so a lot going on here. Sometimes when I read, I don't understand the question. Right?
It's a lot.
But I do understand the question. I get the gist of the question. It's just that you probably should have read that, and then I should have been thinking about it.
Yeah. That's what we'll do.
So Jasmine, Jasmine's waiting she passed her citizenship. She's waiting for the oath ceremony, depending on where Jasmine is. Sometimes that can take a month. Sometimes that can take 3 months. If the officer's sitting on the case for whatever reason, that can take longer. So she needs to go. She's got to go. I'm unclear as to, it looks like maybe she's filed an I-130 petition for someone, as a green card holder. And she doesn't want her case to go to the NVC under the F2A category. What do you recommend? So Jasmine, you are not yet a U.S. citizen. For those of you all just tuning in, and you probably know this, if you go to your interview, you pass, they give you that piece of paper, they say, congratulations, you are going to be recommended to swear in to become a U.S. citizen. Until you go to that oath, you are not yet a U.S. citizen. So one thing is, Jasmine, again, I don't know what office you're in and whether you use an attorney or what you've done so far, but you may want to reach out to USCIS somehow and let them know your situation. You might want to start there and just say, hey, I've got to go. I really don't want to miss out on a swearing in while I'm out. I don't want to, just explain your situation, and they could possibly try to do an expedite of your oath ceremony, maybe in the office. That's tough. That's tough to do, but it's absolutely worth a shot to try. As far as your case going to the National Visa Center under the F2A category, there's really not much you can do about that if you're not yet a U.S. citizen. It's just going to go when it goes. If it does, then you simply have to, and then you swear in to become a U.S. citizen. You simply have to inform the National Visa Center that you are a U.S. citizen and send them a copy of your certificate of naturalization. So I don't think I would overly be concerned about the case going to USCIS under the F2A category. You really can't stop that if you're still a permanent resident. So my best tip tonight is to really just try and first get the USCIS to maybe allow you to go in there and swear in before the oath ceremony. They sometimes do that. So good luck. I hope that helps. Let us know. All right.
Yeah.
Let's grab a question on TikTok.
Yeah. So the first
question, we're going to go back and forth.
The first question coming up on TikTok is an interesting one. I don't know if you know the answer to this. I do not. The question is it required for children under 9 years old to have 2 shots of the COVID vaccine to get a green card? Have you seen anything?
I do not.
The vaccines for the green card cases?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't either. I apologize. Yeah. We'll see if we can find anything out. That is just something that has not presented itself in our office.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Sorry about that.
Great question, though. Mm-hmm. Great question. Okay, so Anne has a question here. Anne says, why has the K1 timeframe increased so dramatically? And I looked at K1 timeframes. I'm filing the I-129F and all of the service centers, and some service centers are taking over a year to approve the I-129F, which really just defeats the whole purpose of the K1. The purpose of the K1 was to, just bring the couple together sooner rather than later. That was one of the purposes. And of course, you've got that 90-day period to get married, maybe get to know the person better in that 90-day period. And if it works out, get married. If it doesn't work out, in all of our years of doing K1, it's only not worked out 2 times. So that's not bad as far as not getting married. But we were at the AILA conference, as mentioned.
I was just going to say, yeah.
And, of course, the backlog was a major topic. It was a major point. And we sat in on the USCIS panel, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, and there were several representatives there, operations representatives, very important people who were on that panel. And they're really trying to decrease this backlog. One of the things that they're trying to do is, so why has the time frame increased? Let me just answer that question really quick. It's because of a combination of factors, which I learned more about at this immigration conference. Number one, before the pandemic, and I knew this just from, people telling us, some of the people at USCIS in Norfolk telling us, hey, receipts are down, which means there are not as many filings. Okay. So when you have not as many filings, then the service has less money because they get paid because of the fees that you all pay. Right. So what was happening was there was a hiring freeze. Okay. Fewer receipts, hiring freeze. Then this kind of demoralized, the workforce at USCIS, this hiring freeze. And then it got worse because there was the threat of furlough of, I think it was 80% of employees at USCIS, the threat of furlough. So more just terrible, demoralizing actions taken by USCIS with regard to the employees. So attrition started happening. People started quitting. Then the pandemic hits. All right. And then you lose more workforce. And then you've got people not doing work because of the pandemic for a variety of reasons. People are out, people are sick, people are taking care of people who are sick. And then once the pandemic kind of, settled down and then the field office started opening up, guess what happened? People started filing more receipts. The receipts went up and there was no workforce there to handle it, decreased workforce. So that's really kind of what happened. I didn't just visualizing what happened. I can understand better now.
I'm guessing that most of you are not super sympathetic about but that is
right.
What happened.
That is what happened. That is what we were told by VIPs at Department of Homeland Security. And what are they trying to do? They are right now trying to hire 4,000 new people, and that should help significantly. That's going to take some time, right? To onboard people, to train people up. But they are really committed. The VIP panel, USCIS, I gotta say VIP because they were very important people at USCIS. They weren't, they were people that made policy changes and, very involved with that. But they were really rah and like, we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied with this either. We don't think we're up to where we need to be. And it was, again, I know, Anne, you're just like, yeah, whatever. But they are trying, and they were kind of pumped up about some of the new things that they were implementing. First and foremost, the 4,000 new hires that they're planning on, getting that done.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And since we're on the topic, their other thing that they're trying to do is really get the employment-based cases out. So that is their priority right now. People who are have filed green card applications and have been, waiting in this category, the EB2, EB3 downgrades, that whole mess. They're really trying to get as many people adjusted, all of them, as possible. And it's a huge number. So again, resources are being taken away from things like K1s, I-130s, and they're being put to other areas, perhaps. So that is a long answer to your very short question, but it is a dramatic increase in timeframes, especially pre-COVID.
And we got some comments over here. I guess we're reacting to my inspirational story. Somebody said nothing should be a surprise in the U.S. That was about the first Mexican-born woman going to Congress. I agree with you. Amen, brother. And we got Pinch Joe, greetings from Seattle, Washington. Awesome. Thanks for joining us from Seattle. That's a super cool city. All righty. Did you want to grab a question?
Yeah, we'll just kind of go back and forth. I think that's the best way to do it. If you see a great question that we can answer.
Yeah, sorry, they just loaded up a bunch of them and they all blipped back down. Let me come scroll.
Okay, while you're doing that, Michael says, does the beneficiary embassy play a role on timing? My beneficiary is from London. Would her paperwork get processed faster than a person from the Philippines? Yes, it does. Because there are not as many people, Michael, generally speaking, especially if we're talking about a K1 coming from the UK as there are coming from Manila. So when John and I went to Manila and I spoke on a panel there several years ago, we were able to tour the US Embassy in Manila, and that was very cool. But we found out that Manila is the post that processes the most K1s in the world. So it should be shorter for sure.
I like your profile picture there.
What do we have there?
I don't know. I try to always guess what these are.
Yes, Michael, what is that? Put in the comments.
Yes, I love it. All right, Cindy Smith wants to know, is there a way to sponsor a nanny from the Philippines?
Yeah, there's definitely a way. There is a way. There is a way. We don't. So we haven't done it in many years because the category was the EB3 category was backlogged. But we have in the recent years, couple years, we've filed a couple, and so yeah, there is a way.
Okay.
Should I go into the
way?
You
know, I think that since it's a very specific question and it's going to have a long answer, that I think that's a situation where you should contact our office. You can have a consultation, and at the end of that consultation, if you want to pursue that nanny case, then we can certainly discuss the options with you.
Absolutely. Here's Michael. I'd be willing to pay $1 gazillion to jump in front of the line. Is that possible? Unfortunately not. Do we have any emergency basis for expediting that? But yeah, sorry, we feel your pain there with regard to wanting to get that done as soon as possible.
Yep.
All right. Vaughn, I'm going to put that up because it's covering. Vaughn, hello, Vaughn. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, sure.
All right. Vaughn wants to know, I filed a K-1 petition in April for my fiance in Manila. She was married in the Philippines to a Belgian, and he was awarded a divorce in Belgium. We have a copy of the divorce judgment. She is going to request a Philippine recognition of divorce, but it could take up to 2 years to get it. What are our options if the petition is forwarded to the embassy in Manila before the recognition of divorce is complete? This divorce stuff is complicated. Yeah. You just did a whole track in New York on divorces, right?
So I think that what I would say is go to that interview when that time comes and see what happens. I actually don't know what would happen. The case would stay open. If they wanted it, then they would give you time to submit that documentation, and the case would stay open until it was received. So I would see what happens when they request that. Of course, request it now, and when she goes to her interview, they're going to request it, and if you don't have it, they will give you time to submit it. But unfortunately, of course, if they request something, your case is not going to be approved until they get it. So hopefully you can get that taken care of sooner rather than later. But I understand the situation in the Philippines. It's not great with regard to these types of situations. So, but Vaughn, thank you for joining us this week. We really appreciate you submitting your questions. And Vaughn, we have a special place in our heart for Vaughn because he is from Burlington, Vermont.
That's right.
And that is where our daughter goes to college.
That's right. Our oldest daughter goes to UVM, great school. Burlington's a really fun town, cool place.
So, I mean, the chances are when Vaughn asks a question, we're probably going to answer Vaughn's questions.
By the way, I was just looking at the screen. That's a crab, by the way, if anyone's wondering.
Oh, yes.
That is.
We
live a crab. We live on the Chesapeake Bay here in Virginia Beach.
That is a local
That's a crab
photo. So. Our daughter, Ray, actually purchased this at an art show.
If you spend any time on the Chesapeake Bay, you're going to have crab stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a sand. Yeah, it's... But so, yeah, Ray purchased this from someone. The person who sold it to Ray's 11, was very excited to be selling it to Ray since she's so young and loved it. And so we bought it.
a girl named Alicia.
Would like
to know.
Hi, Alicia. A girl named Alicia.
Can you explain the U visa and why are attorneys advising this route? Is this an excuse to get a green card?
An excuse.
I don't know what.
It's a path. It's a path to get a green card, yes. But generally speaking, a U visa may be granted to someone who has been the victim of a crime. And one of the difficult parts of the U visa, a couple of things, is that you have to get a certification from, someone like the police department, a prosecutor, that you were helpful in basically facilitating getting in the charges against the person that you were helpful to the prosecutor, to the police, and trying to get that person to plead guilty or have them found guilty, or just in the process of the case. So that can be difficult because they can refuse. Police departments can refuse. So if you have that certification, and you know, of course, you have to show several things. One of our U visa cases that sticks out in my mind is that one of my clients was attacked, and her face was all cut up. It was terrible. And, you know, we had to show the medical records. She had emotional trauma, of course, when that happened to her. So it's a big case to put together. But the first part, again, is getting that certification. So it can, yes, lead to lawful permanent resident status. It takes a really long time, as there is a backlog on U visas. And hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, and you do need the cooperation of, like Radlin said, of law enforcement and the prosecutor.
All right. Let's see. Hoodbshed, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, how long is the processing of the K-1 visa this year? Depending on where it goes, it can take up to over a year to get an approval for the K-1. So he's asking the K-1 visa. I'm talking specifically about the first part of the K-1 visa process, which is filing the I-129F. And filing the I-129F right now can take over a year. So there are, the way that we look at a fiancé visa case, there are 3 steps. 1, getting that I-129F approved. 2, National Visa Center submitting that DS-160. And then this actually is 4 steps. Getting an interview scheduled, okay, medical interview. Getting the visa issued. Coming to the United States, the last step. Getting married within 90 days. Filing the green card application and all the other things that go along with the green card application, like the affidavit of support. Of course, you want to file for the work permit and the advanced parole. So there are 4, I said 3, but there really are 4 steps to the fiancé visa process. And if your first step goes to a service center, say like California, then, well, actually, whichever the longest one is, the one that's taken over a year, then it really can take quite a long time for your fiance to arrive in the United States. And a serious discussion has to be made of whether you should get married or stay the course with the fiancé visa or start the fiancé visa process. We can help with that discussion, by the way. We do consultations with people all the time. And trying to help them determine what is the best route for them based on the different things that a fiancé visa provides when the person arrives in the United States versus an immigrant visa. So feel free to make, schedule consultation with us. We would love to talk to you and help you with that.
Yeah, consultation is a great idea. We charge a $275 consultation fee. And, you know, it's, I think, the best spent money you could possibly spend, because your immigration case is super important. I mean, it's the most important thing that you're doing. And you want to make sure that you get it right. Even if you ultimately decide that you're going to do it yourself, you want to make sure that you're going off on the right path. You're doing the right things. You're going down the right road. You do not want to get halfway down the road and realize that you've made a mistake and you need to turn around and backtrack and lose all that time, because these things already take a lot of time. You all know that, right? And so, you know, errors are not just, I mean, sometimes they can be fatal, but even at the least, they can, you know, eat a lot of the time out of your case, you know, and make it take so much longer because it was long to begin with. And now you've made a mistake and now you got to redo something. And, you know, every time you send something off, you feel like it's gone into a black hole and you don't know what's happening. I mean, we've got a question here. I'll jump right to it because this is a great example of how long this stuff takes. He says, hello, please. I submitted the petition I-130 for my husband 3 years ago. What's taking so long?
Oh,
you know,
I don't know.
Right. I mean, that's what
3 years. That's a long time to get an I-130 petition approved. So current processing times right now, I'll just jump right in it because so many of you want to know about processing times. I've already mentioned that the I-129F form, which is the form to kick off the fiancé visa process, can take over a year for USCIS to approve. And so an I-130 petition for immediate relatives, that is U.S. citizens filing for their spouse, unmarried children under 21, and or parents. At the California Service Center, it's taking 9. Okay, this is the part where you listen up. At the California Service Center, it's taking 9.5 months. Nebraska, it's taking 6 months. Potomac Service Center, 12 months. Texas Service Center, 11.5 months. And Vermont Service Center, 15 months. For lawful permanent residents petitioning for their spouse, their unmarried children under the age of 21, California is taking 24.5 months. So Nebraska is 6 months, Potomac 30 months, Texas Service Center 5 months, and Vermont Service Center 29 months. So your I-130 that has taken 3 years is outside of processing times. I mean, you definitely need to follow up with USCIS as to what's up with that, and try to put in service inquiry as to why that particular I-130 petition for spouse, right, is taking that long. Because
husband.
Yeah. I'm looking at the processing times here. If you're a lawful permanent resident and if it went to Vermont, the max time right now is 29 months. So definitely make a status inquiry. If you did not catch the first part of this, we explained why there's such a backlog. So take a look at that. The backlog is real. The backlog is massive. It's huge. And I remember maybe it was 6 months ago, babe, when we were, oh, sorry, that's unprofessional.
What's that?
You weren't even listening. Okay. So maybe it was 6 months ago when we were putting up the backlog for immigrant visa backlog for the National Visa Center. And it was like 900,000. I don't know what it was. It was crazy. It was 6 months ago. Maybe it was a year ago. And that in a month they processed 20,000. And someone comments like, the math does not add up. The math does not add up. It's going to take 9 years to get rid of this. Exactly. And then I was like, maybe that's wrong. Maybe the numbers are wrong. Do you remember this comment?
Yeah.
And yeah, he was right. The math doesn't add up. The math doesn't add up. I mean, it's just hold on, guys. Just be really patient and meditate. Keep if you're petitioning for your spouse, try to stay in touch as much as possible because it can take a really long time. And being at that immigration conference this past weekend, that is correct. The math does not add up because it's just.
And it's the chief complaint. I mean, it's like Ralph said earlier, it's what every immigration lawyer in New York this weekend was complaining about, talking about, trying to find answers to.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize real quick. We've got several people on TikTok that I'm skipping by some of these because they're sort of fragmented questions, fragmented statements. I can only field them if it's an actual statement, an actual question.
Yeah. If you guys want to hop onto Facebook, we are Gardner Mendoza Law. You can search us under Gardner Mendoza Law, Gardner, Mendoza, Mendoza, Law, LAW, and put your question in the comments and we will see it right away and we will see the full question if you guys want to do that. And while you're there, go ahead and like and follow us. All right, let's see here. Tom says, since I petitioned my daughter and her child in 2004, she's added a second child. Since filing, I have become a citizen, remarried, and changed my last name. How do I update my current petition for the second child and my new name, or do I need to file a new petition? All right. So let's see here. Are they here? I'm just confused about the question. So is it 2004? That can't be right?
Let's see, since I pitched, it's an odd way of putting my daughter and her child. So I guess my daughter and his grandchild.
His grandchild. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I misread that.
That's the confusing
part. My bad, Tom. I always go spouse first. So that's why it makes sense. All right. Petition my daughter and her child in 2004. She's added a second child. Since filing, I have become a citizen, remarried, and changed my last name. How do I update my current petition for the second child and my new name, or do I need to file a new petition? Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not need to, let's see here. With regard to becoming a U.S. citizen, if your petition is still pending, which it seems like it is, seems kind of like a long time, but anyway, maybe that date is wrong. If it's still pending, then you would inform USCIS. You would send them, that with your receipt number, of course, that you have now become a U.S. citizen, as well as you can let them know about the second child. But that typically is going to happen at the National Visa Center. So if you don't inform USCIS with this information, or if it's already at the National Visa Center, then you would inform them. So basically just informing USCIS or the National Visa Center, wherever your case is, about these changes. And you do not have to file a new petition. But good question. Thanks for helping me.
Yeah, no, I was reading it again and I was like, and her child. Oh, that's the grandchild. I get it. Okay. Yep. Okay. Ashley H2O's sent a rose. Thank you for that, Ashley.
Thank you.
And Teresa wants to know, my husband worked while on his tourist visa.
Okay.
Does he need a 601 waiver?
I don't know. I mean,
who knows? He worked. I mean, we not to be shady here.
No. So, I mean, it really depends on what are we filing for, right? Is he here? Is he, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, because we definitely need more facts. Would love to talk to you about that in consultation. Again, this is, it's one line. It's even the comments here where there's more information. I do want to reiterate that this is not legal advice. This is legal information, legal education. Right. So, while we are answering these questions, we're
taking short questions, and there's a lot of detail that we don't have. And in a consultation, obviously, we can dig down and really get all of the facts, make sure that we're covering all the bases, looking under every stone, we're kind of, these are almost like hypotheticals in the sense that
these are hypos. We're doing law school hypos right now. But, to answer that question, we would need to know more information with whether a waiver is required, so yeah, reach out to us. It's call us. If you want to go old school, 757-464-9224. You can reach out to us through Messenger on Facebook. Mm-hmm. A lot of people reach out to this, or send us an email, info@gmlaw.net. You can check out our website, and all this information is there at gardnerandmendoza.com.
Yeah, we could actually change these questions. We could turn them into hypos.
These are hypos, yes.
It says, may I ask, where can we send an update for my son's birth certificate? We would say, where would one send an update for their son's birth certificate? Maybe that's
right. So Cynthia, that's cute. I like that. She says, good evening, attorneys. Good evening. May I ask, where can we send an update for my son's birth certificate? So, are we sending it somewhere? I'm not quite sure about the question. If we're talking about where can we send an update for my son's birth certificate? So if we're talking about uploading to the National Visa Center, and there's an update to the birth certificate, then you would upload that to NVC. I'm not quite sure where it would be going and for what purpose. So sorry, Cynthia, if you want to give us some more information, I can try that again a little bit later.
All right, here's a general question. I live in Australia and my boyfriend lives in the United States. We want to get married, but we have never met. So there's a question in there. I think you can read into it.
The question is, you should meet. Australia is such a great place. Or you can come here. Yeah, you need to meet.
Right. So,
well, you don't need to meet. There is proxy marriage. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say you could, if you want to just speak more generally about.
Yeah,
generally. We get this question usually once every couple of weeks. Somebody wants to know about the relationship where they haven't actually met physically.
Right. Met. So
they're more and more common, by the way, with all the technology.
Right. There is the possibility of a proxy marriage if you want to get married without meeting. But for immigration purposes, my understanding, I've never done a proxy marriage, but my understanding is that from reading the requirements is that for immigration purposes, if you want that to count as a marriage, you would have to consummate the marriage. So get married, have a proxy marriage, then you marriage, and then that's valid for immigration purposes. Not meeting, if there's a religious reason for you all not to meet, there is an exception there as well. So if he's a U.S. citizen, then you could potentially do a fiancé visa and do a religious exception to not meeting. That you didn't mention any of that. So
no, I know.
I'm just pulling out some of the exceptions, or like the extreme hardship.
It does come up.
Yeah. So again, we've never done a proxy marriage. Sarah or Dom may have done a proxy marriage, but I have never done one myself. And we had a viewer who was talking about doing an exception for fiancé visa. And actually sent me his whole package. That was really nice because we've never done an exception either. But anyway, it's difficult to move forward with an immigration case, and it's hard to show if you don't have the meeting for fiancé visa purposes or the actual marriage if you're doing an immigrant visa.
All right. Cool.
All right.
And Ewok here is telling us to keep shining.
Thank you. And you too. You keep shining also.
Getting a lot of roses.
Oh, love roses.
And
virtual and in real life.
And Moshima says cute hair. Thank you.
I like it too. It's
cute, yeah.
Good.
Oh, wait, maybe she's talking about yours.
Oh, yeah, no,
maybe. She wasn't. I'm sure she was talking about your hair.
All right. You don't know that. You have no idea. You have no idea. Okay. Yusra says, is pregnancy considered an emergency in terms of visa? So we have not been able to get anything expedited due to a pregnancy. I am sorry to say. We have tried, but no. All right.
All right. And here's just a quick comment before you get another question there. This is kind of cool. Hi, attorney. I'm a concert producer who brings Filipino artists to the U.S. for shows. I would love to work with you.
Oh, that's awesome. And we would love to work with you.
Give us a call.
And come to Virginia Beach because we have a lot of shows here. People coming from the Philippines to do shows. Reach out through Messenger on Facebook or info@gmlaw.net. I'd love to talk to you. All right, let me throw this up here. Doc Andrews, I would like to thank you, Attorney Gardner and Attorney Mendoza. I've learned a lot watching your Facebook Live. Thank you. I had my interview last Thursday. It's tough. It was a tough one. But the officer said she approved my case, adjustment of status, marriage-based. Is it normal that until now my USCIS tracker status still interview was scheduled? Yes, that is normal. Doc, congratulations.
And we do know that profile picture, Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty, yeah.
That was.
Oh, wait. Someone said about the other profile.
What it was?
Yeah, hold on. California's taking forever. Yeah, that's right.
Did we get to Robin? She said her break is almost over.
Why? Oh, I'm holding. Okay, here we go. This is why I'm having this problem, perhaps.
Robin there says my break is over. Can I email? Oh, we didn't get to it. Sorry about that, Robin.
Oh, Robin's at work. Okay, let's see. Where's Robin's questions? Let's help Robin. Where is it? I don't see it. Sorry, Robin. We're gonna find the question, answer it, and then you can rewatch this.
Right,
because that's what you want to do.
No, we didn't see the question.
Here we go. Profile picture is the Dome of Rock in Palestine. That is so cool.
Yeah,
You were gonna say the Dome of Rock in Palestine?
No, but that region of the world certainly was one I was considering. I just didn't know specifically.
All right, you grab the next question. I'll grab this one real quick.
All right.
It says, "Hi, I've sent my form K1 on May 17th of 2021 and haven't received any information." So hopefully you received a receipt, right? If you have not received a receipt, that's problematic. If you're waiting on an, I would ask, where is this? Where is it? Who's processing it? What service center is processing it? If it's outside of the processing times, absolutely make an inquiry as far as what's going on with the case. Some right now, current processing times taking over a year, depending on which service center. I believe California is the one that's taking like 13 months. So hang in there. Hopefully it gets approved soon. All right. You want to grab one from TikTok?
And by the way, Michael, the Dome of Rock looks beautiful. I'd like to see that sometime. Okay, we've got one here. Got rejected for my citizenship. No, my friend got rejected for citizenship. Can she stay with her green card and leave the state if she wants to? So
sorry, can you read that again?
She has a green card and she applied for citizenship. She got rejected, did not succeed with it for whatever reason. Her question now is she still allowed to stay and travel and stuff, or does she have to leave?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Unless they told you that you were being put in removal proceedings for whatever reason. I mean, but a denied naturalization application does not mean that you are going to be deported.
Right. Still have the green card. Unless
it can mean that if there's a problem, right? I mean, we've represented people who have had denied N-400s, and they come to us because of the denial, and then they get put in removal proceedings because of the basis for denial. Like, say you have a criminal record and they're going to remove you. It's a basis for deportation, or
This is another example of what I was talking about, where it is absolutely worth gold to speak with an immigration lawyer about these things, because you can apply for citizenship, and that's a great idea. We encourage folks to do that. There are many, many reasons that you should apply for citizenship, but occasionally you should not apply for citizenship if we flag something that is not only going to result in the citizenship getting rejected, but also triggering a removal. So
yes,
it's worth $275 or whatever the immigration lawyer in your hometown. Maybe you want to see somebody locally. Fair enough. But it's worth it to talk to a professional before you go forward with these things, because there are traps that could be waiting for you that you don't know about.
And here at our law firm, Gardner Mendoza, we are, as John mentioned earlier, we are a law firm based out of the East Coast in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And we do all of our initial consultations. We do all of our consultations virtually now. And it's not because of COVID anymore. It's just, this is the way that we are doing it. It's so efficient. It's so amazing. It's so great to be able to meet with people from all around the country, all around the world. Our clients love it.
Even our clients that are here locally now, almost all of them opt to just do it through Zoom. It's just an easier, more efficient way.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Did you grab that's right.
And while you're looking through those, quick hi, Radlin, from Lance Wright.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? He is Lance and I went to high school together, but he's older than I am.
Well,
he's in Lynn's class. He's
with Zip Therapy. I guess that's his company now. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Lance.
Thank you. He's famous on TikTok. If you guys want to check him out, over 140 followers.
Yeah,
I'm chasing after you. All right, let's see here. Jag's question is how long to process a humanitarian visa? We've been filed our humanitarian application since February of this year, but now no feedback. My mom is ill. What's the use of humanitarian if the patient is gone before the visa will be approved, and the patient is my mom, who is a petitioner to the United States? Is there a possibility to transfer our petition to my dad without going to square one again and wait for how many years? Thank you. I'm so sorry that you are going through that. Yes, humanitarian sometimes does not work in a timely manner. And unfortunately, you can't just, if God forbid something happens to your mom, transfer that petition over to your dad. But he may be able to step into your mom's shoes through humanitarian reinstatement. So humanitarian reinstatement, if your I-130 petition is approved, is a possibility if you happen to be here. There may be some other options as well. But anyhow, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I can see the frustration in your comments.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. What is the point of humanitarian if you can't get it done quickly enough? Good luck, and I hope you get to the U.S.
We've got some TikTok folks over here. They're answering questions for each other about DACA. That's awesome.
All right.
We don't do legal advice here anyway, but we definitely can't vouch for answers from other folks on TikTok.
Well, it's cool because people do share their experiences,
yep, and
it's a really wonderful community when people in the comments help each other out.
Yep.
Speaking of community, we do have a Facebook group, Live, Love, Immigration. If you want to take a look at that on Facebook, Live, Love, Immigration, Ria, who is our virtual assistant from the Philippines. Hello, Ria, is going to pin that in the comments. And we will be meeting Ria really soon. And maybe meeting you guys too.
That's right. We are
if you're based out of the Philippines and Singapore.
We're going to be in Singapore and the Philippines in October.
September, October.
End of September, early October. Yeah. That's right. Doing some immigration meet and greets and some programs and some
meeting of clients. Yeah. So stay tuned. If you are in, it's going to be in the city in Singapore, right? Like the main area, and Cagayan de Oro in the Philippines, as well as just a short time in Quezon City. It's a short trip.
Yeah, we will not be spending the bulk of our time in Manila this time. We've been there several times in the past, so we're going to be a little farther south this time.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So this is a good question. One guy says, how long does it take for I-130? I am in the Midwest. What is my processing center? So unfortunately, when you file your I-130 petition, you cannot dictate where the I-130 petition will go. So when you get that receipt back, you should be able to figure out, based on the code and where it is. And then you can look up your processing time based on where your I-130 is. And you can't figure that out until after you get your receipt. Hopefully that helps.
All right. And Tita Mummies wants to know, my brother is in the Philippines. Am I able to petition for him? He is a single dad. And I know the first thing you're going to want to know, and that's not in the question. Why don't you just go ahead and answer it?
So if you're a U.S. citizen, then yes, you can petition for your brother in the Philippines. It is taking a really long time, so hold on to your hat there.
Yep. But remember what we say, sooner you file, sooner you get done with it.
I think people are really shocked when they hear about processing times for siblings. They're so shocked that they just put their pen down, they put their form down, they put their checkbook down, and they hide it all away, and they don't do anything.
Yes.
And that is a mistake if your brother has no other way to immigrate here, because one day your brother will be here. It is 20 years, but the time will come, God willing. And I'm being absolutely serious. I know you guys are like 20 years. Jeez, lady.
No, the clock is always ticking.
Stop talking about 20 years.
The clock is ticking. And, if you can, every night you go to bed and there's another day and you either have filed it or you haven't. So you're either accruing the time for it or you're not.
Right.
We recommend that you get it filed so that the time is accruing. It's like investing. You're not going to be a billionaire in 20 years if you aren't investing in anything right now. You have to put the money in. Over time, it will work for you. File
the I-130 petition for your brother. If you're a U.S. citizen, the answer is yes. You can file for him. If he got remarried, you can still file for him. Siblings can file. U.S. citizen siblings can file for their siblings, even if the siblings are married. Just as a review, lawful permanent residents can file for their unmarried children no matter what the age of that child, and they can also file for their spouses. So some people, I know this for a fact because of my videos and the comments, do not know that as a lawful permanent resident, you can petition for your spouse. Some people wait until they become a U.S. citizen before they start that process. They don't know that they can file a petition for their unmarried children. So now you know, and go forth and do great things and help bring your family here.
And Mungai Harrison says, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that comes on and you bring these wonderful questions. You know, what we love about the questions is they are hypotheticals. I guarantee you the questions that you're asking, there's somebody else watching who has a similar question, similar set of facts, and hopefully they're benefiting from the answers to your question as well. Okay. Got some more there.
Let's grab this. Saying, hi, ma'am, sir. We are applying for F21 spouse visa. I am documenting qualifying since June 2020, but until now, we kept receiving email. There are cases at the NVC. Question, is it possible for my petitioner to request expedite? And the reason is family planning concern. I don't know the details of family planning concern, the concern for family planning. It's tough to get it expedited. You can, since 2020, do you see this? This is 2 years, DQ'd for 2 years. It's insane.
That's
terrible. Yes.
And that's another great profile picture. Not sure what that one is. That's beautiful though.
All right. So we are cooking up something. When we say cooking up, we mean it in a positive way. We don't mean it in like a scammy way. I should have used a better phrase than cooking up.
We're brainstorming.
We are brainstorming a lawsuit.
Putting the necessary people together, doing the necessary research to make sure that it's done correctly.
Yes, and to help people in this particular situation. Yes. If I were you, I would file a lawsuit. Okay, we're trying to put together a class action lawsuit for this situation, but I would file a lawsuit. Please reach out to us if you want more information about that. Make a consultation with us and get this done, because this is ridiculous. It's crazy. So that was an interesting thing that USCIS said. They said, please try to work with us. Please try to communicate with us. Please try to talk with us before filing a lawsuit. And that's a little bit insulting, right? Because you guys we have, and nothing happened. So sometime, and this is at the National Visa Center right now. So, but this is from the USCIS panel, and everyone just kind of clawed at that, because it's like, we have tried several times to try to solve these cases without filing a lawsuit, but sometimes that's what you have to do. And the National Visa Center and the State Department, you can sue them. All right. We are at 9:01. And we have Timekeeper here. Timekeeper is looking really cute, eating an apple. Our Timekeeper is our youngest daughter. She comes up and she says, hey, mom and dad, live stream is over. It's time for dinner. I'm starving. We have not had dinner yet. I'm a terrible parent. We're terrible parents. This child is now eating an apple. Anyhow, thank you guys so much. We unfortunately did not get to
we have a lot of questions
all the questions, but we will be back next week. And we love the questions. It was awesome. If you guys want to reach out to us, again, it's info@gmlaw.net. If you want to send us an email, reach out with us. You can call us 757-464-9224.
You can join us next week, or you can just call our office and schedule a consultation.
That's even better. 757-464-9224. But it's always great to share the information that we know and hopefully help you. And also just to help you just be like, I think I need an attorney to help me with this. It may not be these great guys. Maybe it'll be someone else. And that is our goal. Right?
And again, congratulations. If you missed the very beginning, congratulations to Mayra Flores, who became the first Mexican-born woman elected to the United States Congress. She was sworn in yesterday.
All right.
All right, gang.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. You got them, Buns? What Buns has an apple? 2 thumbs up TikTok. We'll see you guys next week. All right.
All right.
Bring your questions. We've got answers. Take care.